What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. We are coming at you live from our studio here in Sin City, Nevada. Another one of our amazing live shows. What's going on? How you guys feeling today? Markets are looking good. Are your portfolios looking good? Robin will go over all that. Speaking of Robin, he's your other co-host. But before, I'm all over the place today. Before I send it over to Robin, quick disclaimer, nothing we say on this channel should be taken as financial advice. Please do your own research. Now I'm going to send you to the Ola man himself, my co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do the deep dives. Just the live stream, though. Check out the deep dives. And then, if you haven't liked the video yet, what the hell is wrong with you? If you ain't subscribed yet, what in the hell is wrong with you? And don't make me say it about the notification bell, because I don't want to say it a third time. Anyways, the market's looking good. What was it? Last night we had this nice little run up. So if you watched the show yesterday, we did see red in the traditional markets with the announcement of the Fed rate hike being a priority. And that, anyways, we're gonna cover that a little bit more so in today's talking points. But just know that more aggressive rate hikes are coming down the pipeline, and the markets got scared, and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency did.
You know who's not scared?
Did not get scared. So
I ain't scared.
you ain't scared?
No.
Why not?
Greedy.
You greedy?
Feeling greedy.
Real quick, let's get a quick shout out in the chat. So we had HP. Welcome first in the chat. Thank you. We love it first in the chat here. Now Malika also in here. Stereo 2, not only in the house running the ones and twos, but also typing away on the Stereo 2 account. We got Eddie up in here as well. Chef Murder, Garrett, 59, Chinese symbol guy, and then we have Gilbert.
Hieroglyphic guy.
Gilbert.
Not Gilbert. It's Gilberto.
Sweet Potato, Infinite Crypto, who was in the studio last week.
Yes.
We had a lot of great time with you here. So always much love from the community. Sweet Potato, Nashawn up in here.
Nashawn, where's your brother at?
And then we got NFTs and crypto.
We're calling him University. That's his name.
University, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right.
everyone.
Well, anyways. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling juicy today.
Yeah?
Super juicy, yeah. Put some trades in this morning. Took some profit this morning. Life is good. Yes.
You know, the thumbnail said, altcoin season, is it here? Is it here? Are we in another altcoin season?
I think
Possibly.
so.
And if you're new to the space and you haven't been in crypto very long, just know when Bitcoin has a big run up, so we went from 37,000 up to 42,000 in the span of about 10 days, I think it was. And we've been trading kind of sideways for the last 4 days. So basically, big run up when it comes to Bitcoin. When the rest of the market catches up, then you get your altcoin season. So the profits trickle down. Also, real quick, Vibicio. Hola! Welcome.
What'd you call him?
Vibicio.
We got 16 people in the chat. We open up the club at 21. We're giving away $25 in Bitcoin. Let's go.
So, you know what? For the people that are new, especially you, Vibicio, we here at Sin City Crypto, we like to have a good time. If you've ever been to Vegas, there's a couple days we do right. One is cryptocurrency shows. Two is nightclubs. And so when we get to 21 being a very favorable number here in Las Vegas, we open up the club, we get some music going. We also got a cool little animation, or we dressed up the club thing. So we're excited to reach 21. And not only is it fun and we kind of hang out and have a little party here, but we give out free crypto. We give out that crypto, baby.
Free Bitcoin.
And in case you didn't know already, to be eligible for the crypto, so when it's time for us to hand stuff out, all you got to do is put your Twitter handle. You got to have tipping and was it what's it called?
Tipping enabled.
Tipping enabled.
Tipping enabled.
Which
You
are
got to follow us on Twitter. It's at Sin City Crypto 1.
mm-hmm.
And just have a Twitter account. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta. So when you have tipping enabled, I think you need to add your Bitcoin.
Address. Super easy. If you guys want, I can walk you through it. If people don't know how to do it, let me know. I can do that. It's very, very simple.
Yeah,
but that is the only way you're gonna get money.
Yeah, because this whole man, you want to talk about some headaches? Is trying to figure out how to get people their winnings. And anyways, we're not gonna go into detail with that. But just know we're just trying to keep it simple here. And Twitter makes it pretty simple. So, yeah.
What's up, music?
Music is back.
By the way, do you like music? And if you do, what kind of music do you like?
Who doesn't like music? What kind of question is that? Like,
I take it.
Do you like food? If you like food, put 1 in the chat.
Yes.
If you are a fan of sleep, put a 2 in the chat.
Music? What kind of music are you into? I want to know. I am an old school hip hop kind of guy. I like some country here and there. I'm very versatile. Robin, he was homecoming king. That's all you need to know.
See, I'm glad you know. Glad you know about the epic history of.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the viewers are constantly reminded, Robin, of your accomplishments.
Yes. There's
you,
major milestones. Like if there was a roadmap of a baby, and you could line it up, be like, Q4, you would have homecoming king, and then the next year Q2 would be Sin City Crypto YouTube show. So there you go.
All right, let's start the show off with a little market overview and some traditional market insight. We're going to send that over to Robin. Go ahead, Robin. Take it away.
All right. So taking a look at the markets, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sitting at 42,500. So look at this nice little run up that we had here.
We're getting close to that big resistance level.
We got as high as 43.5, basically. So we're testing that big mark. So if we'll do a little technical analysis later, but just know that we've had some major resistance and or support in the past from the 44.5 mark. So once we cross that and we hold above the 44.5, basically once we're over 45,000, then we're on the next leg up. As you can see here, you have big run up. We went from, a week ago, we were down to 39. Then we went up to 40, 41, consolidated, ran up to 41.5, consolidated, ran up to 42, consolidated. So we're making higher highs and higher lows at this point. So a good trend. Now, what is going on in the stock market today? We got some big numbers, lots of green here. So here at Sin City Crypto, we do like to do an overview on the traditional markets. If you're not familiar, the NASDAQ is one of the biggest indicators for risk on assets, especially tech-driven stocks. These investors tend to also be invested in Bitcoin, or the opposite is true. Bitcoin investors that are in traditional assets tend to be in NASDAQ. As one example. So anyways, NASDAQ up 1.7%. So a lot of green. A lot of the narrative is that they don't really care about this interest rate hike. People just are like, okay, that's cool. Nice. So we did have the drop yesterday when we announced that interest rate hikes are going to increase exponentially, or instead of just the 0.25%. So big run up. Anyways, now there's a lot more fear in the market. This fear and greed index that we pulled up here, takes into account multiple factors, volatility being one of them. So when you get big price swings, even in the towards the upside, it's also gonna translate over to the fear and greed index. This also takes things like Google Trends. There's lots of different factors that go to this. It's not just volume and what the price of Bitcoin is, for example. So lots of different metrics that factor into this. But yesterday we were at 30. Now it's said that anything under 25 is extreme fear. And right now we're right there on that cusp. So you see, last week we were at 21, extreme fear. So still, people are still not feeling easy. Sean, welcome back, my dude. Welcome back. Good to see you in here. I did pull up a quick I did pull up an article here. This one's not related to crypto, but it kind of is. I mean, it's more about the traditional markets. So, Evergrande crisis, $2 billion seized by the banks. So, if you're not familiar with Evergrande, they are the leading real estate developer in China, also one of the top 10 companies in the world. One of the, I think, top. I don't know if they're the top real estate company, but they're a big player. They have ties to BlackRock, all kinds of big institutions. So basically, they went bankrupt. They defaulted. So here, the article says banks have seized $2 billion in cash from Evergrande. The ailing Chinese real estate developer said Tuesday they announced the delay of publication of annual earnings. So they don't even want to tell people how much money they lost. And then here, Evergrande said that it won't be able to meet March 31st deadline for publishing audited results for 2021, a year that saw the default on its debts. So basically, they got no good news to drop. And this, you might be wondering, why are we talking about Evergrande? But why do we talk about what happened in 2008 with the housing market crash? It tanked the entire global market. Basically over leveraged mortgages. Banks were lending out mortgages they couldn't afford, or people couldn't afford to pay, and you had a big bubble that popped, crashed the entire global market. This could be seen as the same thing, or at least something very similar or comparable. China is extremely over leveraged. There's a lot of talks of the Chinese citizens that have completely purchased, or at least put in a mortgage for a condo, for a high rise that hasn't even been broken ground yet. It's very common there. So, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be out on money. People, could you imagine, David, having a mortgage for
I do have a mortgage.
Condo that isn't even for the building that isn't even built yet? And then just imagine you've already paid the mortgage. You've already taken the mortgage out. It's already went to a company, and they went bankrupt. I mean, just think of the ramifications of that. Like, you took out a mortgage.
There should be protections against that.
There is no protections.
Well, I'm saying there should be.
Well, that's, people always say, like, well,
you bought your house.
But
your house was a new construction.
They always say that real estate's the safest investment, right? Right? That's always kind of like, that's always kind of your thought.
Part of that is because people always need a place to live.
But here's the thing, is that there is no risk-free investment, no matter what it is. And I mean, if you were to,
you can minimize your risk, and there's long-term risk, short-term risk.
If you would have told a Ukrainian citizen a year ago, hey, what is the least amount of risk in the stock market? Which stock would you invest in? And they could give you a long list, like, well, this one is this, and this one is. The answer was none of them. But you get what I'm saying? And like, none of them were a good risk because you couldn't factor in what's not plausible. The same way that, like, if somebody's at work and they're like, I'm gonna take this risky job, and I don't really know, and it's 2020, and you're just like, you know what? I could take this secure job. It's good. I'm gonna lean and do this thing, and then lo and behold, here comes COVID. Something nobody planned for. So black swan events kind of change things up. And so you can assume that even the real estate is safe and it's the best bet. But, there's always risk.
There's always risk to everything.
Everything. So
literally everything.
Your house could get hit by a meteor. You never know. And then
a
clause in your insurance that says meteor strikes are not covered, So
you talked about paying a mortgage on a house that's not even built yet. I mean, you bought a new construction home. What would you have done if all of a sudden the home builder just vanished? Would you be shit out of luck, or you'd get your money back?
Yeah, well, in that model, and I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of recourse for people. But at the end of the day, I'm sure there's a lot of people that did lose their money, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you think of like commercial real estate. You give somebody money to build something and they don't deliver on their promises, and they just vamoose. Like, what are you gonna do?
That's why you gotta get
You're
close.
out, bro. Like,
That's why you need to invest in Bitcoin because ain't nobody not building on Bitcoin. That's all I gotta say.
anyways, yeah, just be easy, man. The markets are a little volatile. We've been in the long downward trend. That there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. I would just be careful making any big investments right now. Uh, I would either dollar cost average in, or maybe just kind of take the sidelines. That's my approach. I'm still investing in crypto, but I'm not FOMOing into nothing, because I mean, I could easily see $33,000 Bitcoin by next month, right?
Me- yeah, I mean,
That's what
technically,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
but
Like, and when I say like could see, like, I still think it's probably 50-50 chance.
metrics say otherwise. But you never know. You never know. You know, crypto, traditional markets, everything reacts to news, right? With what's going on in Russia, the Fed rate hikes, this and that. So any piece of news can tip the meter either this way or that way. So metrics are very bullish for Bitcoin, and we're going to go over more metrics later on in the market analysis. But we can come out and we can, I don't know, some piece of news will come out. The SEC wins a lawsuit against XRP, and then bam, everything's going to crash. Or the opposite can happen. Or Honduras comes out and says we're accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, and it can go the opposite way. So, with such a new market like crypto, it's more sensitive to news. Obviously, there's no clear cut foundation as far as like regulation, taxes, all that. So, any small piece of information where it wouldn't typically affect say, the stock market, for example, as much would highly impact the crypto market, whether that's in a negative or positive light remains to be seen. So, but as far as like on chain metrics, it's very bullish for Bitcoin. Technicals, kind of in the middle, could go either way, probably leaning more to the bullish side now. But then again, you never know. There's always that little piece of information that you don't have right now that could potentially change the landscape, swing it one way or the other. I mean, Robin mentioned this before. The spark to the last bear market was Coin Market Cap messing up on their website, and people freaked out, and literally that started the bear market. We're in there for a year and a half, and that's one. And it's not even an exchange. That's one website that tracks prices and market cap made an error, and then now everyone freaked out, and now we're in a bear market. So that doesn't
Well,
tell you.
there wasn't a lot of believers then.
Yeah,
2017, at least in comparison to now. A lot of people were still like, people had that mentality like, okay, when do I get out? Like, how? Okay, I made profit. I don't
which
know.
is
I don't.
why,
I don't know about this thing.
I think the year and a half bear market cycles are gone. And the metric I'm going to show you guys later in our market analysis proves that, right? The capitulation phases get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, which is great news for our market. So, going to bring more stability. You're not going to see year and a half, 2 year bear markets. You'll see more of what Robin mentioned 3 month little windows. We have a big run up for 2, 3 weeks, pull back for 3, 4, 5 weeks, little bit run up, little, and blah, 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 blah.
Well, if you look at traditional stocks, you have basically you have your short-term cycles, and then so in stocks, in the traditional markets or finance, they call them cycles. So you have your short-term debt cycle, which normally lasts between I think it's 5 and 8 years, or I think maybe 10 years. And then you have your long-term debt cycle, which is more that follows recessions, and those happen up to every 20 years. And then you have your macro cycles, which are your depressions, and then your big economic booms. So we're at the on the if you look at traditional markets, it's the same correlation when it comes to the markets we're in now. We're just in the infancy. So right now, extreme volatilities, but no matter what, even your most secure assets, even, you're looking at these, like, the S&P 500, you're still getting big swings. I mean, you had a giant run up in 2021, and then you had big pullbacks here and there. So you'll always have volatility. It's just less and less of it, and then it's just going to keep falling into these cycles. Maybe the 4-year cycle. I think you'll still have the 4-year cycle. It's just not going to be as dramatic. It's not going to be what we had before, where we go in, we had a big blow off top, and we just trade dead for 2 years. Like that cycle is no longer, is at least those style of numbers. So what you're going to see is a big run up here, a pullback, and consolidation, run ups here and there, and that's my take on it. So right now it's kind of falling in these little 3-month, maybe 4-month windows with the run up and consolidation. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
But don't discount it. When the next halving comes around, shit's gonna pump.
That's a little less than 2 years away. So.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying, like, so just sheer supply and demand. Like, the exchanges buy the Bitcoin from the miners. And if there's half of the amount to buy,
simple economics.
Yeah, then the price is going to go up. And then in anticipation for the price to go up, it's going to go up before the halving. So just like every year. And
so people FOMOing in.
Yeah. And then when price goes up, you're going to get a pullback every time, guaranteed. Just how much does it pull back? So, the cycles are still going to be here, just not as pronounced as they were before. So,
Nishan, you want to know what's a good exit point for Algorand? I will go over that for you in our market analysis. All right, we got the overview out of the way. Let's get into our very next segment, the hot take.
What's hot?
So the hot take for today is this. We talk about Ethereum killers. We talk about flipping Ethereum, right? It might happen. It might not happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's say it does happen. And it's either Cardano or Terra Luna. Who are you betting on to flip Ethereum? I'll go first. I'm going to go with Cardano. Between the founder, the team, what they're doing, yes, are they taking their time? Yes, their price is low. It can't get over $1. You haven't seen big gains like you have from Solana, from Avalanche, from freaking Terra Luna. But if you look at what's going on behind the scenes and how they're looking to compete with Ethereum and do everything Ethereum does, but better, cheaper, faster, maybe even more securely, you got to think of it this too. What Ethereum is doing with moving over from proof of work to proof of stake, Cardano is already there, right? So they're ahead of the game in that sense. You have a founder that understands Ethereum, understands Vitalik Buterin. I mean, he was one of the founding members of Ethereum. So you got that in your back pocket. You got the most developer activity across all chains 2 out of the last 3 years. You got that going for you. You got great tokenomics. So if it does happen, I think the answer to that question is going to be Cardano. They'll be the one to flip Ethereum. Robin, what's your take? You think it's going to be ADA? You think it's going to be Terra?
yeah, Cardano.
Cardano?
Yeah.
Now, nothing wrong with Terra Luna. We're not saying Terra Luna is not a good project. I was I don't want to say a Terra Luna hater, but I was like, it's kind of boring. I take it back. Terra Luna is a great layer one. What they're doing with DeFi, stable coins, decentralized finance is amazing. But as far as overtaking Ethereum, I mean, you're talking about the king of layer one, smart contract, NFTs, you name it. I'm going to have to go Cardano. So curious what the chat thinks. If you think ADA has the best chance of flipping ETH, put a 1. If you think Terra Luna has the best chance of flipping ETH, put 2. Also, I posted a poll on our community tab on our YouTube page. We got like 50 votes. Majority of you, like 40% of you, did Cardano as far as the biggest layer one mover in the next 3 months. We're going to start doing more of that, but what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate that with our hot take. So the day prior, you'll see what the hot take is for the following day. We'd love for you to go vote and then we'll give our take, and then we'll discuss what the community thinks as well. So another way to kind of get you guys engaged in the loop as far as what we're talking about, what we're doing. So uh, I guess there's nothing really. You want to add anything else, Robin? To what I
No, my
mentioned with
question
Cardano?
is somebody going to actually flip Ethereum? That's more,
I don't think so.
like Cardano obviously has a larger community, has more potential. It has big run up. It's been around for almost as long as Ethereum as well. So if you're gonna compare Cardano and Terra Luna, obviously Cardano is more established and has been around and it's been there. And so, anyways, that's there. But now, like, is Ethereum gonna lose? Is somebody gonna flip Ethereum? Like, are they gonna hold the reins? Like, that's to be seen. Like, I think that all comes down to June 22nd. That's my opinion. June 22nd. Is it actually gonna happen? Are they actually gonna move to the proof of stake? Or are they gonna be still proof of work? Is the transition gonna work? I mean, we've already had Ethereum breakdown once before. Hence Ethereum Classic, a coin that's pumping right now. So for me, it's like,
That's funny.
is it gonna work? Is it gonna happen on time? Is there gonna be free of bugs? And if it isn't, if there is hiccups, like will the community move elsewhere? Maybe if they underdeliver, what if it's still bogged down, not fast, congested? What if it still has higher transaction fees than expected? Then yeah, 100%. I think people are going to move away from it. At the end of the day, if you have aging old technology, why would you not upgrade? Think about it. If Ethereum is slow, if you have a phone. Okay, let's just use your smartphone. You have an iPhone, and every time you open up a web page, it takes 5 minutes for it to load. And then somebody is like, hey, I got the new iPhone, and this one loads pages instantly. Like, at some point, you're going to be like, okay, or maybe it's an Android, or maybe at some point, you're going to be like, or if you're using the BlackBerry, and you're just like, yo, it takes forever to text. I got fucking crumbs stuck in my keyboard here. In anyways, at some point, no matter how big of a BlackBerry fan you are, no matter how big, at some point, you're going to be like, okay, I got to let this go. And I'm sorry. Like, everybody can sit here and say ETH's the best thing on the planet, and you know what? It has the biggest community, but if it ain't gonna scale and be fast and efficient, and other chains are flipped, simple as that.
So HP said, where is this vote thing? Will you pull up my laptop real quick, Rocco? So if you just go to your YouTube page and you search Sin City Crypto, you click on our channel under this community tab, there'll be a poll. So there's one. This is the one right now. We'll update it every day. So that's where you find that. Also, if we look at going back to the Ethereum versus Terra Luna takeover, right? If you look at just like metrics, right? You look at how many protocols live on the chain, right? You have Terra Luna sitting at right here. Where to go? Terra Luna at 26, Cardano's only at 6. If you look at total value locked, right? You look at metrics right now. You got Terra Luna sitting at almost 27 billion. You got Cardano sitting at 306 million. So if you just take the metrics we have today, it's easy to say Terra Luna. But that doesn't mean that just because they have more total value locked, they have more protocols on their network, that it's going to stay the same moving forward.
Well, total value locked is just an indication of how much money is locked up into a DeFi. So
Correct.
just, and Cardano's all-encompassing layer one with smart contracts. Terra they run a stable coin and they have a DEX. And they're amazing at it. They're leading. They have a ton of people transacting with it, but it's more than that. It's way more than that. Cardano's top to bottom, between NFTs and DeFi and identities moving around and lots of other things as well. Very, very diverse ecosystem. So gaming, all that crap. So yeah, nobody's playing games on Terra Luna.
And this is the Terra Luna. This is their ecosystem right here. Here you have Anchor, which is a uh, liquidity provider. Lending. Everything is essentially like Robin said, DeFi, stablecoin. That's pretty much it. Cardano, not as much adoption as far as protocols stuff, working on the Cardano network, but we all agree that that will grow. Just when, we don't know. But if you believe in Charles Hoskinson, you believe in that team, you shouldn't be worried. All right, we are done with our hot take. We're moving on to our talking points, where we give you and keep you up to date on all the latest info on crypto. Let's get right into it. Mayad, where you been, bro? You weren't here yesterday. You weren't here the day before. That was Sunday. We weren't here either, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, you weren't here, and today you're late. Unacceptable. But I forgive you. All right, let's go up to our first article we're going to talk about. Robin hinted at this. Just going to read over some details for you. If you can pull up my laptop, sir. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hints at aggressive rate hikes after saying inflation is too much. Jerome Powell said that America's inflation is much too high on Monday, and he further explained that the U.S. central bank is willing to raise rates more aggressively. The Fed will, quote, take the necessary steps to ensure price stability is feasible. He also said raising the federal funds rate by more than 25 basis points may be appropriate. Can we see 50? Yes. Will we see 75 or even 100? I don't think so. That'll freak people out too much. It's like walking this thin line between making sure the economy doesn't go to shit, but also not scaring off investors and making the economy go to shit. So that's happy. I don't have to deal with it, because those decisions are very hard to make, especially when millions of people's economic lives depend on it. The labor market is very strong and the inflation is much too high. Jerome Powell went on to say, we will take necessary steps to ensure a return to price stability. In particular, if we conclude that it is appropriate to move more aggressively, we will do so. Also, if we determine that we need to tighten beyond common measures of neutral and into a more restrictive stance, we will do that as well.
Surprised it took them 2.5 years to figure out that inflation is bad.
Seriously, like you have economists working for you that are looking at this shit all day, every day. How did you not see this coming?
It's not. You don't even need economists. It's just.
Hey, we've almost doubled our money supply in 2 years. I
Yeah.
think we might come into some inflation, so let's get ahead of the game.
Sheer economics. Double the money supply, price of the money.
I don't know.
It's pretty simple.
But then again, even if they raise the interest rates 7, 8, 9, 10 times by 25 basis points, you're still at a 2.25 interest rate.
Well, that's the thing. This article is saying that they're gonna go up 0.5% at least.
Yeah, but are they going to do 0.5%, 7, 8, 9 more times? Probably not. They might go half, and then maybe another half, and then back down to 25. We don't know. All I'm saying is, even if at the end of the year you're looking at a 2.5%, 3% interest rate, that's still very low. Like,
well, I mean, is it? Because a 3% interest rate,
well, compared to zero, obviously,
on top of your 4% home mortgage, that's 7%. So basically, you pretty much, and then if you compound that, at a 3% interest rate, you're gonna more than double your interest for,
yeah,
and then you're gonna.
It's that, or instead of going to the grocery store spending $100, 3 years from now you're gonna go.
Well, I'm just saying that it's not without causation. It's not.
Of course, nothing is.
So I mean,
like, here's a situation
we've been at zero for a while. I'm just saying that, like, if your mortgage payment is $1,000 and you're paying, say, $600 in interest, just be ready for that to about 50% up. So that should be, if you're paying $600 in interest, your mortgage payment will be about $1,300. So that's at 2%.
Yeah, but if you already have a mortgage, they can't just go in there and raise the rates. It's just locked in, unless you have a variable.
That's very common, though.
Yeah, I have a fixed rate, which I recommend. Don't do no reverse mortgage. Don't do no variable mortgage. My dad got screwed out of that. That was terrible.
No, I mean, there's There is positive. So for one, maybe we'll see more returns on savings accounts.
Ah,
No, honestly,
you're hilarious.
no. I mean,
You're talking about banks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fun.
No. Here's no. This is it's happened in the past, and banks.
Where are they going to go from 0.01 0.015?
Well, no. Well, in the past, the savings account used to offer more than 0.01. That is something that's changed recently. Here's the thing: if you can borrow money at 0% interest, okay, say you can pick up $1 billion, okay, you're a bank, you're like, hey, I need $1 billion. You can go get it for 0% interest, pay back nothing in interest to anybody. Would it be more advantageous for you to grab $1 billion from the U.S. government or to take $1 billion from your assets on hand from the savings accounts, which you're paying an interest at? You're paying interest for the people, even though, albeit it might be 0.01% interest at $1 billion, you're still talking, was it $10 million? So, or is it $1 million? Whatever it is. Anyways, just know that now as the interest rates go up, so now let's just say hypothetically, like you said, you have a 3% interest rate for the banks to borrow money. Are they going to borrow money from the banks, or are they going to borrow money from their customers? They're probably going to borrow from their customers because the interest rate is a lot lower. And if they see that people are competing, if banks start competing for the interest rates, so you have Wells Fargo's like, hey, don't go to Bank of America. We'll give you 0.05% interest, or we'll give you 1% interest on your savings account. You're already seeing that right now in smaller in banks that not your traditional banking system that offer loans. So things like Upgrade, as an example. There's a couple other institutions. They're giving you comparable interest that you would get from like an outside lender, like in crypto. So you can open up a savings account with a non-traditional banking system and get 2 to 3% interest. And this is only going to get higher, especially when you go correlating when you raise the federal interest rate. So there are positives, and not to mention it's going to slow down the interest. The inflation as well. So
That's a big thing for me. Like, I got 3 kids. We snack a lot. We eat a lot. And, literally, like comparing my grocery bill 6 months ago to now, it's like instead of spending like $240 a week, like my wife is spending close to $275, $280 a week. That's a big price jump, right? And for me,
it's inflation.
right. And that's what I'm saying. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, right? Because I'm very blessed. But what about the single mom who's living paycheck to paycheck? Actually got to spend an extra 25, 30, $40.
That's literally what the interest rate does. It stops the printing of money.
Well,
Because the banks, instead of borrowing from the government, are going to borrow from their own holders.
that's what I'm saying.
So instead of them acquiring $1 billion from the government, they acquire $1 billion from their savings accounts, and then nothing is printed.
So I guess the point I'm trying to circle back to is, yes, interest rates go up. It's more expensive, mortgage, this and that. But what's the flip side if it doesn't go up? Is the scenario I just explained to you. So, all right,
The scenario we've been in for 2.5 years, and it's like, and all the investors are just hating on it, and I'm just like, man, it's about time, man. Stop giving the freaking banks free money, man. Literally what you're doing. If I go get a loan, I got to pay interest on it, man. Banks get a loan, they don't got to pay shit.
Unacceptable. All right, moving on. The gun is back. Gary the Gun Gensler. The SEC pushes decisions on Wisdom Tree's and One River's application for spot Bitcoin ETFs. The SEC will push the deadline for approving or disapproving a rule change allowing shares of the Wisdom Tree Bitcoin Trust and One River Carbon Neutral Bitcoin Trust to be listed on the CBOE Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange, respectively. The commission finds that it is appropriate to designate a longer period within which to issue an order approving or disapproving the proposed rule change so that it has sufficient time to consider the proposed rule change and the issues raised in the comments that have been submitted in connection therewith, said the SEC regarding One River's application. So we said this before. I'm going to say it again. My take is we are not going to see a spot ETF under the Gary Gensler administration. And you can keep pushing deadlines back. You can keep trying to, I don't know what the hell he's doing, stalling, but he's not going to approve shit, man. Unless there's pressure coming from above him, we're not going to see a spot ETF under Gary Gensler. Here's another example why.
Gary Gensler is not going to go anywhere. He was appointed by the Biden administration, and he's going to stay here until the Biden administration is gone. So no matter what, he's here till 2024. So if you don't think there's going to be a Bitcoin spot ETF by 2024 in the next 2 years, sadly mistaken. Grayscale is going to get approved. There's been more and more buzz in that direction. And not to mention that we had the executive order basically leaning on the different branches of government to adopt and basically accept cryptocurrency for what it is. That's a mandate straight from the president himself. Don't get it twisted. He has been lined. His pockets have been lined. His campaign has been funded by FTX. And you know they're going to double down when it comes to the next election, which is going to start gearing up in advertisements next year. 2023 is going to start off the year with advertisements for elections. And so who's going to be funding those elections? We saw who was invested in the Super Bowl commercials. We saw where money is flowing into politics, and it's coming from these big exchanges. So next year, politics is going to be powered by cryptocurrency, and so don't get it twisted, man. This is gonna happen.
We got a new person in the chat.
Oh. Leonis.
No, Giannis.
Giannis?
Yanni Frangakis. That's just.
Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
I feel like he is Greek. Giannis, right? Ioannis. So I'll say this to you. Kalai se malaka. That's all I got.
So,
Robin might speak Portuguese, but I speak way more languages than he does. I speak Armenian, English, Swedish, Spanish. Now I speak Greek. That's it.
Congratulations.
HP. So he's asking about mortgage rates. We can lock it up for 30 years. Yeah, 15 or 30 years. He said in Canada they can only do 5 years. It's terrible. Yeah. These Canadians, eh?
Yeah, your credit card bill, your credit card interest payments, those are usually variable too.
Yeah.
So whatever you pay in your credit cards is going to be more expensive too with interest rate hikes. So what are we talking about?
The SEC pushing back. I don't think we're going to see a Gary Gensler led.
So you don't think they're gonna pass a spot ETF by 2025?
Not as long as the gun is in there.
Okay. If that was the case, they would have a hard stance and say this is not going to pass.
But they've been
delaying.
They have to bring us along and pretend like they're actually
Gary Gensler has
it.
taught a class on blockchain technology at MIT.
Yes, he has, Robin. And look at his narrative against crypto.
And you know what? No, his narrative comes straight from the banks and from the traditional stock markets.
That's what I'm saying. And banks are not going to let us.
No, well, now his boss has been like, cut that shit out. Literally, the guy that put him in office. The person that put him in his position, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, he has literally said, hey, $3 trillion market cap here. This thing is moving. We don't want to get left behind.
Why hasn't he approved anything? Fucking approve it then.
The executive order came out last week.
So why does he keep pushing this shit back?
How? Because he's not going to pass this one.
He's a piece of shit.
Okay, why did he push it back? Okay, because first of all, they had all kinds of better ones that got denied. They're not going to all of a sudden, this isn't going to be the first one. They're not going to, what are the two? What are the two ETFs?
Wisdom Tree and One River.
Wisdom Tree and One River.
NYDIG got denied.
Exactly.
Grayscale got denied.
No, Grayscale did not get denied. NYDIG got denied.
There was another one that got denied.
There's big, exactly. So,
like 3 or 4.
So here's the thing. Before the executive order, they denied some big ones. Now the boss put the heat on them. And their first ETF they're going to pass is not going to be Wisdom Tree and whatever other one. And so the first one is going to be one that's capable, that has the liquidity, that has the Bitcoin on hand. Could you imagine being somebody that's never traded Bitcoin, all of a sudden trying to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? I'm just saying, in the eyes of the SEC commissioner, if you're like, okay, if we pass this, don't you agree? $1 to $5 billion instantly
Yes.
purchased.
Yeah, but you're talking about
Okay, so
you're talking about
why not
large
why not
institutions.
pass a company? So why not pass a company that has Bitcoin on hand, already has billions?
so hard for a fucking hedge
Grayscale
fund to go buy
has
Bitcoin.
Grayscale has
That is the dumbest narrative.
yes.
Don't approve
Yes.
it because they're not going to know how to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin. It's too hard. Grayscale already has it. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Grayscale has it on their books,
So
bro.
what? You can go buy it.
Go look at the exchange. Go look at how much Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. Bitcoin on hand. First of all, to buy that amount of Bitcoin is extremely difficult. I mean, Tesla bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and I'm sure that process was hella complicated.
So there's not going to be one spot ETF, right? There'll be multiple.
Yes, and it's going to start with Grayscale.
So then what's going to change?
It's going to start with Grayscale.
What'll change?
Because the first mover is going to have tremendous FOMO. That's what I'm saying.
So you don't think it's going to continue to grow linearly? Spot ETF.
Okay,
people
the
investing
first
in
one that
spot
comes
ETF.
out, the first one that pops off is going to moon. Just like you look at the futures. Boom, $1 billion in less than 24 hours. In futures contracts, if you, the magnitude of the first one going to be passed, and then you're going to drop it in Wisdom Tree's hands, like honestly, I don't want Wisdom Tree to be the first spot ETF. Do I have trust in them? What if they fuck it up?
Well, it's not always
then
what
all of a
Robin
sudden the
wants,
whole
is it?
government's going to be like, yeah, we gave you an ETF. Look what you did. You straight bombed and tanked it. You tried to buy $1 billion worth of it. You straight up dropped the ball. You try to buy it at market value because you're not just doing a long 1 week fucking buy here. You can't just all of a sudden put a buy order. If $1 billion come in, you got to buy right on the back end at the same price that they bought it at. And then how are you supposed to negotiate that with an exchange that barely has any on hand? I'm just saying that, like, logistically speaking, as a fucking commissioner of the SEC, to make sure you're protecting your investors, the smart move would be to, like, why don't we just approve the fucking guys that have the number one allocation of Bitcoin is in Grayscale Trust. More than MicroStrategy. The most. The people that can literally launch this motherfucker and be like, bro, we're good to go.
Then what's the holdup?
Because the banks were putting pressure on the SEC, Gary Gensler, and then they wanted it to fucking not jump in for that reason. And now the boss himself, Sleepy Joe, has said, "Hey, why don't we push this thing back because Grayscale's in the pipeline? Let's not deny anybody else because they're gonna approve. If they approve Grayscale, they're gonna approve that first, and then like the second week and the third week after, they're gonna approve the second, a third, and a fourth to provide liquidity for this thing. Just like they did when they did the Van Eck one with the futures. They approved one, and then on the back end they approved 3 more shortly thereafter. So who's gonna lead the charge? The person that can provide the liquidity for all of these transactions is going to be Grayscale. And they've already done more than they have for all the other ETF providers too. They've opened up this Q&A. There's been more discussion about it. It's going that direction. Simple as that.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Ripple. XRP. Ripple opposes SEC's request for extension of time. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larson argue that the court has to deny the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's most recent request for yet another extension of time. On March 21st, the SEC filed a motion to request that the court allowed a brief extension to inform the court about its intentions regarding conducting any additional discovery. The extent of the discovery that they wish to take is not clear. Surprising. Just kidding. Which is why the SEC needs additional time to determine whether it's required. All the fucking SEC wants is time. We need more time. We want more time. We need more time. We want more time. That should be like their theme song.
That's how government works, man. Nothing moves fast in government.
However, back to the article.
You ever been to DMV?
I hate the DMV. It was kind of nice with COVID. I'm not saying COVID was nice. I'm saying like the landscape of how things change. You can check in online.
Say the C word, man.
So it was nice
canceled.
when that thing was around with the
There you
bats. Where you can check in on the DMV online. You didn't have to go away for 15 hours, and you can do some stuff online like your registration, which I don't know why the hell they make you go down there for the simplest stuff. Anyways, sorry, Rocco, you're like, bloop, 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 bloop. Back to the article. However, the individual defendants argue that the SEC has delayed the resolution of the case, quote, long enough, arguing that there is no need for additional discovery. This just sounds like SEC is just pushing back the inevitable. They are going to lose, take a big L. It's going to look bad on the Guns resume. They're stalling. They're trying to buy time for God knows what. Just fucking end it, man.
Yeah.
Just end it.
Straight up.
You're going to lose. End it. Robin?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. It's they're dragging it out. What's the reason? Let's just go. A lot of favorable news in XRP or Ripple side, so should be it's looking good, man. And I'm telling you, there's been a lot of each little one of these are tiny victories, and if you look at it like a boxing match. You're getting into, you're winning round, SEC wins round 1 and 2. Then you just see Ripple Labs win round 3, 4, 5, 6. They're getting all of these little victories. And so I think it's coming to an end very soon.
Now, who would win in a boxing match between me and Robin? Boxing match.
I mean, you got the length, but
And I got the strength.
But your boy got straight machine guns right here, okay? I got machine gun number 1, machine gun number 2, okay? Look at
What does the chat think? If me and Robin were to box, right? Official gloves, official weighted gloves in a boxing ring.
And not to mention, I can just straight eat some punches, bro.
Okay.
You could just hit me in the face like I feel like you would take one punch and you just
Yeah. Try me. Put a 1 if you think David would win in a boxing match. Put a 2 if Robin. We'll see. Man, we got to 17 viewers. I was like, we're gonna open up the club, we're gonna give away money, and then we're down to 9. I guess you guys don't want money. All right, we're moving on. Europe, they want to run it back. What do I mean? European lawmakers successfully voted against a proposed ban on the proof of work crypto last week. If you remember, it was a pretty narrow vote, but it was shot down regardless. But as per regional law, the proposal could be revived this week to face a second round of voting. The markets and crypto assets MiCA proposal will now be subject to negotiations in the parliament before it is passed. But it is in these negotiations that the proof of work ban could be reintroduced. Yeah, let's go backwards. Makes a lot of sense. The parties have until Wednesday, March 23rd to veto the proposal, and if they do, the proof of work ban will have to be voted on again during the parliament's next plenary session in April. And according to Patrick Henson, the head of strategy at Unstoppable Finance, the parties in favor of the ban already have the required votes. It is now a question of whether they will choose to veto the bill. So these people that wanted to ban it, if the bill goes to vote, the bill's going to go to vote. If they decide to veto it, it could be reintroduced for another vote. Which, what? Isn't there something to prevent against that? You voted, the vote's in. What? Why are you going backwards?
People aren't happy with the results, and we got a YouTube bear.
He said,
"Hola, welcome."
He said this is annoying. You know what? I got nothing else to say.
Our channel's not for everybody.
True.
We like to have a conversation here. We like to engage with the community. I want to know who our viewers are.
We have fun.
I want to talk about what we're doing this weekend.
If you're a no fun person, it's definitely not the channel for you. We mix in entertaining and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Sorry if it's not your style, my friend. We still love you. Anyways.
That's right. I'll still give you Ola. I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
Bearer bad news. Ola.
That's awesome.
All
right. You got anything to add to this? I think it's ridiculous.
No.
Come on.
It's kind of like Elizabeth Warren, where she asks a question and then tries to navigate the question so that way she gets her answer that she wants back to make her to validate herself. And it's just kind of like that's generally how politics work. You get the floor and you try to speak in a certain way to hold your narrative, and that's what politicians are known for. And then here you go, again, same kind of concept, ideology. You have somebody that's proposes a bill, it gets shot down. They're like, all right, round 2, let's go again. Let's do it again. And so yeah, there you go.
All right, moving on. Fantasy crypto. Like fantasy football, but users learn how to trade. I thought this was a very interesting article. There are over 60 million people who play fantasy sports games globally. There are more than 300 million crypto users worldwide, so Volcania.io has created a new play to earn game, hoping to cash in on the wild interest that people have in crypto. Players can earn rewards at no cost with no risk. While they play, they can learn about various projects and the cryptocurrency markets. This sounds super cool to me. And after I'm done reading the article, I actually have that website pulled up so you guys can kind of see. They can educate themselves as they navigate this new financial frontier. Volcania Crypto League operates similar to a fantasy football style game, with players managing a team of 5 tokens throughout a 10-day period. All tokens listed on Volcania.io are available for selection. The strategic element comes into it by allowing players to boost their performance using daily allocated bonuses. And how do you get these bonuses? By holding the native VLK token. I think this is genius. Players can switch out a poorly performing token or boost any of the 3 scoring criteria by 25, 50, or 75%. And that's pretty much it. And here's the website. Volcania, ready to play. They have different rounds. Looks kind of all over the place. I didn't really navigate it too much, but the idea sounds super cool. I'm definitely gonna look into it. I'll probably create an account, see what this is all about. I'm a huge fantasy football guy. I know Robin is too. We played in leagues together. Where Robin, will you remind the people who was a champ this year?
I forgot who won.
You really? Forgot.
Yeah.
You forgot. Who did you have to give the money to?
It's a lot has transpired in
Just answer the question.
2021 was a very scary year for me. We had crypto popping off, and the end of COVID. We had all kinds of new strains, Omicron and all this stuff. So, anyways, I can't for the life of me remember.
Yeah. So it was me. Just like that.
Oh, was it?
Is this something that you would be interested in?
Interesting thing. So we were discussing a skit where we would cover because you didn't know the draft, the NFL draft is here in Las Vegas next year, and so it being in Vegas, we thought, hey, why not do some kind of draft style cryptocurrency thing, which. Lo and behold, this article comes out right after we discuss it. But before I even read this article, I was like, man, what if, because we're always trying to brainstorm like skits and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, what if we did, instead of like the blockchain parlay, we did like a fantasy football, at least between the two of us. We still had the blockchain parlay for the chat. And so we would draft a team, and then every Sunday or every Monday, we would see what starting tokens you put up for the week, and then we would just follow that along and see who. Basically, the same kind of format as blockchain parlay. But
and HP had a great idea too. Said, why don't we do a live draft?
Yeah,
for the draft. So a lot of things
we have the mobile studio. So when we go to
we should do that.
When we go to Miami, we've invested in all of the gear to broadcast down there. At least film content. Now, whether or not we'll have a strong enough internet connection to stream live, or even the time to stream live, because I think the time that we're live here will be actually at the conference.
Yes.
So we haven't really figured out the logistics of it. But what we do have is all the equipment to film on set or on premise or off site or whatever you want to call it. And so I plan on doing some filming at the draft. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to put it on YouTube, because NFL is going to have all kinds of logos and stuff, and it's all copyrighted.
But
I have to figure it out.
Maybe we can run into one of the superstars, getting a little quick 2-minute interview with him.
Well, Tom Brady, he's back. Brady's back, baby.
Goat.
So we're like, hey, Brady, what do you think? What's your favorite coin this year?
Who the fuck are you guys again? We Sin City Crypto, baby. We here. All right, let's move on. If you guys would be interested, the link is volcania.io if you guys want to go check it out. I haven't personally checked it out in depth, but if you guys want to, I will later on today, though. All right, moving right along. We're going to Texas. Texas congressman endorses Bitcoin mining for U.S. energy independence. You know, and this just goes to show you, right? There's always two sides. You can look at the glass half full. You can look at the glass half empty. And you have people like Elizabeth Warren who are always looking at the glass half empty when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin. Then you have other people like this congressman here who look at it from a glass half full perspective. So you can twist any narrative to be positive or you can twist it to be negative. So here's one that we're twisting it to be positive. Representative Pete Sessions today tweeted, quote, Bitcoin mining will play a critical role in rebuilding energy independence in the USA. According to data from the fall of 2021, Texas provides the fourth highest hash rate of any state within the U.S., coming in at 14%. Texas is such a Goldilocks zone for Bitcoin mining; it's unreal. The Coinmetrics co-founder Nick Carter tweeted, citing supportive policymakers and the state's energy infrastructure. So they're seeing, they're not taking the narrative, oh, it's bad for the environment, takes too much energy, blah, blah, blah. They're saying, hey, we can harvest this. We can make it easier. We can bring more Bitcoin mining here, and we can use that to become energy independent as not just a state, possibly as an entire country. I don't got much more to add to that, Robin.
Yeah, the power that they have in Texas is crazy. It's like compared to entire nations. So, and they have a lot of excess power. So, only makes sense. And I think Texas is going to be the leader, not only in the U.S. but globally for Bitcoin mining.
I agree. There's just so much land that you can build these mining farms.
Bro, it takes an entire day, 24 hours, to drive from one end of Texas to the other. If you go through like the fat part, you don't try to like shortcut up to the top. You go from one end to the other, stopping for gas and to go pee pee. It takes a whole day. Like that's like your whole. It's crazy, man. So a lot of land there. So
let's move along. Next article. What do I always say on this channel? Follow the money. Well, here's the money. Ray Dalio's Bridgewater is investing in crypto fund. It's the first signal to date. The world's largest hedge fund is taking crypto seriously with its own money, right? It's different when you're telling someone to do something versus actually doing it yourself. The world's largest hedge fund is planning to back an external vehicle. And if you're not familiar with the numbers, $150 billion in assets under management for Bridgewater. And this is a comment from the representative of Bridgewater. While we won't comment on our positions, we can say Bridgewater continues to actively research crypto, but is not currently planning on investing in crypto. So, another person familiar with the hedge fund's trading plan said, Bridgewater is looking to get involved. They are doing serious due diligence, liquidity, service providers, and whatnot. So, it looks like they need a little more info. They want to make sure it's stable enough. Then they're going to get in, but it's going to happen. Ray Dalio's a super smart guy. I can't see him keeping his company, his shareholders, and obviously the people that are invested with Bridgewater away from crypto for much longer. Eventually, you're going to get those people that come in and ask. They want it. And in fear of losing those clients to another firm or another company that has the ability to offer crypto services, they're going to start offering it themselves. Robin, got anything to add before we move on?
yeah, I love Ray Dalio, man. I've been consuming a lot of his content.
Remember we made fun of the guy?
Did we?
Yeah.
Man.
We made fun of him when we did a segment called "What the Fud Did You Say?"
Yeah.
Where he was like, so blibber blabbering. Anyways,
he's Bridgewater's the number one. Are they the number one?
world's largest hedge fund.
World's largest hedge fund. So, anyways, they can't just jump into crypto. At least like if it was 2018, like it just wasn't a sound idea. Even if you were behind crypto, I think Ray Dalio is more behind crypto compared to a lot of other hedge fund managers, or at least as a CEO. So he's been a little bit outspoken and supportive of it. But yeah, I mean it's huge news, man. Well, yesterday we had who was it that did their first transaction?
Oh,
It was a Goldman Sachs.
yes.
Goldman Sachs basically trading crypto yesterday. We got Bridgewater investing in a crypto fund today. And then we also had, was it Skybridge Capital? They're all in on crypto as well. So it's obviously a trend that's moving. JP Morgan's got their crypto thing going on. HSBC is working with crypto. They were facilitating trades with Switzerland
Yep.
as far as crypto transactions. They purchased land in the metaverse. Was it JP Morgan also did the lounge in the metaverse? Like, hey, I don't know what else you need to know that we don't already know. Just take a look at the evidence. If you're looking at a crime scene,
Follow the money.
yeah, you see. Look at the blood
Follow the
splatter.
footprints.
Look at the blood splatter. You know what I'm
Follow the
saying?
bullet holes in the wall.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been watching too much CSI.
Mm.
All right. The last.
CSI.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen CSI Las Vegas? It's terrible. Doesn't even.
Yeah.
It's so bad, bro. I watched
You know
10 minutes of
You know
one
what's worse than
episode.
that? 7 people in the chat.
7 people in the chat. And I think Bearer of Bad News
Was the bearer of bad news.
yeah, he as soon as he dropped the stank bomb, everybody ran, bro.
Well,
They all headed for the hill.
we ain't going nowhere. We're going to be around.
That's right.
All right. Last couple articles are just going to be quick updates on some projects, what's going on. The next one is Algorand. They are upgrading, and which will boost speed and privacy on the network. Algorand is planning a series of upgrades to bolster the network's privacy and speed, and developing permissioned co-chains with a trustless, decentralized bridge between them. Algorand is developing a layer of privacy with regulators while ensuring that privacy does not become a curtain to hide nefarious activities. This is of grave importance to a chain like Algorand because they are focused more on businesses and enterprises. So, of course, with large businesses, if you want to reel in the Apple, you want to reel in the Teslas, you're going to have to make sure you are secure, scalable, and you are on par with regulation and regulators. And that's what they're doing. Back to the article, please. The permission co-chains can help developers build ecosystems independent of the main Algorand blockchain and could be used for CBDCs. So they are also going after the governmental CBDCs. The first planned upgrade will increase the network speed by 10 times. So pretty big Algorand fans here. And then someone asked about exit point. We'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. Next, Mina Protocol. Mina ecosystem raises $92 million to build the lightweight blockchain for Web3. They secured a $92 million fund through strategic and private sales of the Mina token, led by FTX Ventures and Three Arrows Capital. Is Mina listed on FTX right now, by the way? Will you check?
No.
No, it's not?
No.
Well, they will be soon.
The only U.S. exchange I know of is crypto.com. You can pick it up on
They're not really up.
you can pick it up on KuCoin too.
Yeah.
Only thing is KuCoin and crypto.com, they don't have very good functionality with the wallet address, so
Yeah.
you can't really take it off the exchange.
And their customer service sucks.
That's crypto.com too. You can't take it out of there.
I know.
Well, yeah.
Led by FTX Ventures and Three Arrows Capital, with the participation by FTX representing the venture fund's first major backing of zero-knowledge-based smart contract technology. The investment is FTX's first, reflecting the crypto industry's increased focus on bringing zero-knowledge-based apps to Web3 to ensure user privacy and end-to-end security. And Mina is at the forefront of that. They are layer 1 ZK rollup, essentially. Zero proof knowledge. If you're not familiar with that, we did do a deep dive on Mina. Go check that out. It's under our playlist on our videos. And then just kind of finishing it off, CEO of Mina Foundation said the funds will be deployed to accelerate Mina's adoption as a leading zero knowledge platform within Web3 by attracting world-class developers. So, Mina, Robin, and I are both big Mina fans. Let us know if you have Mina. Put a 1 in the chat if you have Mina. If you want to learn more about it, again, go watch our deep dive video. Robin, anything you want to add on Algorand or Mina before we get into our market analysis?
No, two projects I'm extremely bullish on. Taking a look at Mina here on mine.
What's that tomorrow? Yeah, running a little over today.
So with yeah, you know they don't even show crypto.com as
Rocco, will you pull
liquidity.
up Robin's laptop?
They don't even show crypto.com as a liquidity provider when it comes to
Markets.
yeah,
Weird.
just the traditional Binance and Kraken. So once they get the liquidity here, you know what's weird is that Mina Protocol is a U.S. based company.
San Francisco.
So with that, it's kind of surprising that some of the U.S. exchanges haven't, and a lot of that kind of circles back around to their ICO. So I guess the ICO very similar to Ripple Labs and XRP. So there's some security questions. So that's why, in my opinion, we haven't seen the listing on the U.S. exchanges. But in due time, I do believe in Mina. They're also partnered with Polygon. So
yes,
Polygon leverages Mina's
and Ethereum.
And Ethereum. Yeah, they leverage their zero proof rollups to help facilitate transaction speed.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of like really not only cool but very, very important things for Web3 that Mina does that like no one does. Like permissionless web oracles, you won't really need a chain link. Well, you still kind of want to leverage chain link too.
I told you, what was it, like last month? This is the project that I am the most bullish on for having explosive growth in the next
kilobytes.
In the next bull run, I'm telling you, this is the home run right here.
I'm just gonna have to FOMO in right now.
So sitting at number 85 on the list, you're talking like, okay, not even a $1 billion. So if you were to say throwing 1,000 now is just a number, and then it got up to where Avalanche is, you're talking a 23x. And that sounds kind of crazy, right? But here's the thing: by the time it gets up to $23 billion market cap, Avalanche by then will be up here where BNB is. So even then, at that point, when the next bull market, it would only need to get up into maybe the top 25 to have a market cap similar to what Avalanche is, which would be a 23x. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Huge fundamentals. There's no reason why ApeCoin should be ahead of this. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm looking.
Agree with that.
I'm looking at all these. I mean, Stacks, Harmony One. I mean, it's very comparable to Harmony One as far as community and technology. So yeah, I mean, big supporter of Mina Protocol. Might not be the best. Actually, it is a pretty good time to get in. This thing came out. It was on straight fire, bro. Came out at $8.
I'm actually gonna disagree with you.
And then came out at $8, $4 here. Traded at $4 for a while, so sitting at $2. So it's a good time to get in.
And I'll actually disagree with Robin on good time to get in, and I'll explain why. So we're done with talking points. We are getting into our very last segment of our show. The market analysis. Let's roll. All right. So since we were talking about Mina, let's look at the Mina chart. What are the technicals telling us to do? So if you pull up my laptop. So this is the Mina chart. So we just broke out of a falling wedge, which obviously is bullish. But outside of that, right? we're at the top of the Bollinger Bands, which means we're typically going to revert back down to at least this 20-day moving average, which is $1.92. We have our two indicators on the bottom here. So let me take the Bollinger Bands away. We're in consolidation right now. So when this on the Arun indicator, when you have both the red and the green lines going the same way, we're accumulating. This trend is great, right? So we might be finally done with this long downtrend we've seen since what? We hit $6. But if I put on the Heiken Ashi here, and it kind of gets rid of the noise and tells you what kind of trend we're in, right? So you want to see these big green candles with no lower wicks. When you start seeing the body of the candle start getting smaller, that's typically a sign that we're consolidating. So already breaking out of this falling wedge, consolidating. I would say maybe wait on Mina. We did make higher highs over the $2 and let me switch back to my candles. We did make a higher high from the last time, which is right around $2.20. You know, we got all the way up to $2.37, but not really a lot of volume. The indicators are telling us we're in consolidation. So if you absolutely want the very best price point, my thing would be to wait. Of course, this is not financial advice. So if you want to go buy it, and if you plan on holding this thing for 3, 4, 5 years, 20, 30 cents doesn't matter. But if you're talking about the most optimal entry point, I would say wait. And then I wanted to show the
Don't you think that all of cryptocurrencies, all projects have kind of broken out? So I mean, I feel like you could come to that same conclusion.
Here's Ethereum. Broke out of a falling wedge again. Same thing. And
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it might not be the best time to get in on any crypto.
Yeah.
If that's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you're looking, if you got cash on the sidelines and you're looking to get in, I don't think there's really any project that at this moment compared to what happened, where it was 10 days ago, obviously. But who knows? I mean, this could be the first leg of the bull run. I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, take a look at the Bitcoin chart. I mean, we're making higher highs and higher lows.
And
we might not see. Look at that bottom trend line there. It's trending up. So I mean, that could have been the bottom there, where you started that bottom trend line. That could be the bottom. And you know what? If you would have kind of had that same mentality at the beginning of 2020 or at the beginning of 2021, you just had a big run up. And we don't know what the markets are going to do right now. So possibility. That's why, dollar cost average would be the best way to go.
And Bitcoin is in a very bullish pattern, right? So this is an ascending triangle, making higher lows, but we got this resistance here, right around 44,000. But this little 3 candle pattern here, so this is called an engulfing pattern. So this green one got a nice big body, which is a great sign when you're looking for trend, whether it's to the upside or to the downside.
The muchachas.
See. But this is not only engulfed yesterday's candle, but it has engulfed the previous day's candle as well, which is very, very bullish. But again, the trading day is not over. We still have about 5 hours for this candle to close. So we'll see where it is. We'll see if it continues up towards this 43,300 that it hit earlier today. Or will we stay here? Will we keep shrinking down? If we keep shrinking down and this body gets smaller, not the greatest of signs, but looking at it from a macro sense, as long as we don't break under this ascending triangle here, we should be good. I don't know. Once we test this 44 again, if we get rejected again, that ain't good. Because that'll be the 4th or 5th time that we've gotten rejected, and typically means we're going to see a equally big fall to the downside. Now, Algorand wants to know what's a good exit point for Algorand. So if I'm looking at the chart, and first thing I look at is I throw on my Bollinger Band. So we're trading at the top of the Bollinger Band, and typically we revert back. So if you absolutely wanted to take profit, Now, obviously, there's variables. What price did you get in? How much profit are you sitting on unrealized right now? But if you got in on the bottom here at right around 70 cents, then I would say, yeah, go ahead, take profit. You have indecision in the market. You're trading on top of the Bollinger Bands. Uh, I would say take profit. Now, if you believe in the project long term, 82 cents, right? To scalp a 10-cent profit, if you believe in the project long term and you care about holding, don't.
It was only
It's not worth
it was only like what, 6 months ago? It was sitting at $4.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like if you just
Yeah,
zoom out a little bit.
When did it hit that high right there?
Oh no, it wasn't $4, it was $3.
$3.
Yeah. It wicked all well, this wick might be wrong, but it did get up to close to $3.
Is that the all-time high for his $2?
Definitely all-time high. And on top of that, if you kind of switch the candle formation here, uh it does show we're still in a strong uptrend, but we'll see. So for me personally, I sold some Algorand. I told you guys what 3-4 days ago. I got in at 70 cents. My target was 82 cents. We hit that. I liquidated about 50%. I took some profit, and then I'm just kind of letting the rest ride. I believe in Algorand as a long-term project. That's why I will never liquidate all of it, but I have zero issue taking some profit here and there, getting better entry points. So
So this was something I noticed here. I was thinking about exiting. You want to pull up my laptop real quick? So I was thinking about exiting Algorand. I was looking, and then I noticed that we were still sitting in the green easy bands here.
is Algorand. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when I was comparing this to other projects, um, everything else is kind of sitting here in the middle. If you're gonna just use the Crypto Stackers Pro, and then take a look at their easy bands, so it hasn't even bounced off of this. It hasn't even crossed this dotted line here yet. And I'm not a technical guy, so I don't know what it is, but just visually speaking, we in a green, baby, and I like the green. So I'm not gonna sell yet. That's the way I look at it. But then if you take a look at the other some of the other projects that are moving, like just and like yesterday, I took a look at Cardano. So kind of the same premise here with Cardano. You put on the easy bands here. We've already broken above those, and most of all the altcoins look that way. 'Cause yesterday I was trying to find a project that was still under the was in this little zone here.
You want one? Perpetual protocol.
Perpetual. But you see, the thing is I'm not familiar with Perpetual. I don't want to invest in something that I haven't done research on. I'm not saying that I won't, but where is Perpetual on the list?
It's number 166.
Oh, it's pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Perpetual Protocol, huh?
Yep. I put in about $1,000 in it this morning. So we'll see. Very similar to LooksRare. It's like think of it like a dividend stock, but a dividend paying.
So Gilberto wants to know about crypto.com.
Actually, Chronos.
Chronos.
What do you want to know? You want to know what it does? You want to know what the chart's saying? What would you like to know?
Where is crypto.com? Oh, there it is, Chronos. Take a look here on this one. I looked at this yesterday too. See, this is what a lot of them look like. So as far as you kind of want to sell when you get higher up on these bands, and then accumulate here on the green band. So kind of right in the middle. As far as the crypto stackers, and I'm not the TA guy, so I'm not gonna pretend to be that guy here. So I just, like I said, I like the nice shiny color. So green, good. Red, bad. No, I do understand TA. I'm more the classic TA when it comes to looking at patterns. So wedges, bottoms, trends, things like that. So what do you got, David?
I was looking at Crow, the chart on Crow. Where is it heading? So you can pull up my there you go. Where is it heading? So we have a I wouldn't necessarily call this. Let me read this here real quick. Let's go from here to here. So looks like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call this a descending triangle, which is bearish, but you know, if you really wanted to, yeah, it's not 100% because
Yeah, even that bottom trend line's
is not 100%. Yeah,
it's not. You only have what, one touch and a wick on there.
yeah. So if I'm looking at these indicators, right, it looks like we're consolidating. But here on the average directional index, it looks like green trend's about
It's
to
just
cross over the
straight
red trend.
consolidating, man.
Everything's consolidating, right? But if you look at
This one's
here,
consolidating more so than the rest of the market.
and if you look at this one, kind of again shows you the trend a little better. Where
Uh,
if you don't see big green or big red candles, there is no trend. It is consolidating. So typically during consolidation, if you plan on holding long term, this is where you want to buy. This is when you want a dollar cost average in. So that's what I would say. But a lot of things are happening on the Kronos chain. Between the Crypto.com token and being able to save money. If you have their card, we're actually doing a deep dive on that. That'll come up probably in the next few weeks or so.
Really bullish on Kronos, man. I think they have the potential to be the next B&B, I think, or at least give them a run for their money. A lot of that value in the B&B token, as far as its market cap, comes from just straight hodlers. But a lot of that growth came from utility. And so we see that there's a lot of people hodling the Crow token or Kronos token because they have those like credit cards or whatever. And to get one of those debit cards or credit
Free
cards,
Netflix.
you got to like lock up a ton of Kronos. I mean, to get outside of the first tier. So they have a lot locked up. The utility is growing on their chain. I think it's an undervalued project for sure. So.
Okay. All right. That'll do it. Weak turnout today on our chat, but that's okay. We'll continue to bring the heat and the fire. We didn't get to give out any Bitcoin today, so we're going to roll that 25 over to tomorrow. So tomorrow, if we open up the club, we're going to give away $50 in Bitcoin. Literally, all you have to do is just maybe share our stream, tell your friends and family. Do what you need to do. Go buy another iPad or do what Russell does. Put all your iPads, go to your mom's house, your sister's house, your brother's house, get all their electronics, and then create accounts and then log in, and that way you can win money. Anyways, let's go ahead and roll the outro. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow is Flashback, Crypto Flashback. So I got a cool one in store for you guys tomorrow. On behalf of myself, Robin, Rocco, we love you guys. We hope you enjoy the show. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace.